There are names that echo through time, whispers of fire, shadow, and wings that blacken the skies. Among them, one name sends shivers through history's bones: Vhagar. But who was she? What was her story? Today, we dive into the story of the greatest of the old dragons, or at least the ones we have records for. From the War of Conquest alongside Queen Visenya Targaryen to the fiery skies of the Dance of the Dragons, Vhagar was terror, fury, and death incarnate. But even giants fall. This is the rise and fall of Westeros' most feared dragon. Vhagar was one of the 3 dragons that helped forge the 7 kingdoms into one. Alongside Balerion, the Black Dread, and Meraxes, she came to Westeros with Aegon the Conqueror and his sisters, Visenya and Rhaenys. Though smaller than Balerion, Vhagar was still colossal. Her wingspan could shadow towns, her roar could shatter stone, and her fire burned so hot it melted armor to bone. Hatched in Valyria before the Doom, Vhagar was named after one of the old Valyrian gods, a warlike deity fitting for a creature bred for conquest. Her first rider was Queen Visenya Targaryen, the elder sister and wife of Aegon the Conqueror. Together, they brought fire and blood to the rebellious kingdoms of Westeros. Maester Gildain once said, "When Vhagar passed overhead, even the bravest knights soiled their armor." But vengeance cuts both ways. In perhaps the most infamous moment of the dance, Aemond and Vhagar pursued Lucerys Velaryon and his young dragon Arrax through a raging storm above Shipbreaker Bay. Despite Lucerys' pleas for peace, Vhagar was not a creature of mercy. In a moment that may have even gone beyond Aemond's control, Vhagar bit Arrax in 2 and Lucerys with him. This single act shattered any hope for a peaceful resolution. Rhaenyra's grief turned to fire. War turned to annihilation. In 130 AC, the dance reached its climax. Prince Daemon Targaryen, riding the lean and deadly Caraxes, sought revenge for Lucerys' death. He challenged Aemon to a duel above the waters of the God's Eye. The sky darkened with dragon fire as the 2 ancient beasts clashed. Vhagar, massive and old, against Caraxes, smaller but vicious and cunning. High above the lake, in a battle that shook the heavens, they tore into each other. Caraxes latched onto Vhagar's neck even as Vhagar's jaws crushed him. The 2 dragons fell flaming, shrieking, locked in a death spiral. They crashed into the lake below, vanishing beneath the water in a storm of steam. Vhagar was dead. Aemond was never seen again. Caraxes somehow crawled to shore before dying, but the skies of Westeros would never again know dragons like these. Vhagar lived over 180 years. She was born before the conquest. She helped unify a fractured land. She served queens and princes. She burned castles, armies, children, and kin alike. But her death marked a turning point. After the Dance of the Dragons, the great winged beasts began to dwindle. The loss of Vhagar, perhaps the greatest of them all, symbolized the death of Targaryen power in its purest form. No dragon born after the dance would ever rival her size or strength again. They say the roar of Vhagar could be heard from miles. That when she took flight, the earth trembled. And when she died, the world changed. Vhagar was not just a dragon, she was the embodiment of Targaryen wrath, the fire that forged and the flame that consumed. She was Westeros' most feared dragon. And now, only echoes remain. Subscribe for more lore from the world of ice and fire. And remember, what is dead may never die, but rises again, harder and stronger.